Alright, so we're at Myth today playing Warhammer. We're playing 2,500 points, Vampire Counts versus Warriors of Chaos with a Slaanesh theme. Today we are playing Battle for the Pass. We rolled up all the terrain randomly and everything. Brent, do you just want to go your army?
Sure, starting this time, just a regular spawn. Level 4 Demon Prince with Shadow Magic. 15 Warriors with additional hand weapons, times 2. Hell Cannon hanging out in the back. 30 Marauders with shields, and just 5 hounds. 3 ogres with great weapons, more hounds. This is my Gore Beast, and then another spawn right at the end.
Alright, and we found out that this was the Blood Forest, and this one is the Wildwood, and that's the Venom Thicket, which already claimed a dog in my Vanguard phase. So on my side, I brought 5 dogs, 3 Vargheists, 37 Graveguard with my level 1 Vampire, who's my general, White King with a great weapon, White King BSB on that side, Terrorgeist, 40 zombies with a level 4 Necromancer and a level 1 Necromancer, 39 Skeletons full command, Spirit Host, 40 zombies full command, and another set of dogs over here. We roll off for first turn, and Vampire Counts gets turn 1. So we just finished Vampire Counts turn 1. There was 0 charges. Terrorgeists didn't have to frenzy check. Vargheists didn't have to frenzy check. I moved my whole army up, tried to get out of this Wildwood, which I forgot about, so I'm going to have to roll for those skeletons. Moved everything up again. In the magic phase, I had 11 dice. The only things that went off was I did Gaze in the Gash on those dogs, killing 2 of them, which was fantastic, which panicked them. And I raised a new unit of zombies over here, which total powered it, killing off 8 zombies in my main unit and wounding my Necromancer Lord with the small blast template. I then cast, I healed up my zombies with a 6-inch bubble heal, getting 5 extra zombies in that unit. Well, actually 3 extra zombies in that unit than I started with, and re-healing up my general. Not my general, my level 4. And then I stored 2 dice in the parry up, and that was my turn. We're off to Warriors of Chaos turn 1. Alright, we just finished Warriors of Chaos turn 1. All of his stuff moved up. He had 0 charges. Again, everything just kind of moved across. His general came across to give his inspiring presence to more of his army. In the magic phase, nothing went down. He tried to do the pendulum across to my Terrorgeist, and I dispelled it, and then he failed to cast the Withering. And in the shooting phase, he killed 3 zombies with his Hell Cannon as it scattered 8 inches off my Terrorgeist. So we were off to Vampire Counts turn 2. So we just finished Vampire Counts turn 2. My charges were Spirit Dogs into his dog's flank, which he fled. So then I charged my Skeletons into his dogs, which pushed him even further out. Redirected into his ogres. Redirected my dogs into his spawn. And charged my Spirit Host into his chariot, which needed a 6, and I failed. Other movement, Terrorgeist flew up in front of his Demon Prince. Moved my zombies up even closer to his warriors. Moved my dogs up closer to his spawn and stuff. Moved up the rest of my army. These zombies are kind of stuck with their movement 4 back here. In the magic phase, nothing really got cast. Curse of Years got his scroll out. I tried to Curse of Years that unit. He spelled it. I stored 2 dice in my black parry up. In the shooting phase, I rolled a magnificent 11 with my Terrorgeist, that beautiful bastard, and screamed his prince off the board. And in combat, I did 1 wound to the spawn, and did 2 wounds to the ogres, and still beat the ogres by 2. He killed 5 in return. I just parried like a mother. And we are off to Warriors of Chaos turn 2. Alright, we just finished Warriors of Chaos turn 2. His charges were Chaos Chariot into my flank, Spawn into my dogs, and those warriors into my zombies. In the magic phase, he threw 6 dice at the Withering and rolled 4 ones. So I dispelled it with my dice and stored 2 in the parry up. The Hell Cannon shot at the Terrorgeist, not getting it under the hole and failing to wound. And in the combat phase, I lost by 6 in this fight, killing one of the ogres. In here, he killed one of my dogs, losing by 1. And over there, he killed one of my dogs, and I lost by 2. And his dudes just wiped out my zombies, and I did nothing in return. So we are off to Vampire Counts turn 3. Just finished Vampire Counts turn 3. My charges were Terrorgeist into the flank of the ogres. So my Graveguard could go for the 8-inch charge on his warriors, failing, losing 1 zombie in the swamp. 1 Graveguard in the swamp. Zombies tried to charge across into the chariot. Needed an 11. I rolled a 7, a 6, and a 1, so they actually got to move further than they can normally. which is my whole plan. Spirit Host moved over to intercept the spawn, and Vargeist moved up behind his lines to try and go after a Hell Cannon, because that's going to be fun. It's going to be a fun fight. Magic phase, he dispelled Curse of the Years with all of his dice. I rolled a 20 on 3 dice, he dispelled it with 5. So I raised another unit of zombies right there. That was it for Magic. I stored 2 of my Black Parry up, and I healed up my Terrorgeist by 1 with my Vampire Lord. In combat, in shooting, Terrorgeist screamed off the Ogres and reformed. In combat, it was I lost by 1 here, but my banner prevented that loss. I reformed. Spawn killed a dog, and that spawn had 6 attacks and only did 1 wound to my last dog. And we are off to Warriors of Chaos turn 3. Alright, so we just finished Warriors of Chaos turn 3. His charges were the dogs into the flank of my Spirit Host, his warriors into the front of my Graveguard, Spawn into the flank of my zombies. His warriors over here tried to do a swift reform and failed. His marauders tried to do a swift reform and failed. And in movement, there was no movement. So in Magic, he went for all of his dice into his only spell, which was the Withering. I dispelled it. In the shooting, he shot at my Terrorgeist, direct hitting it, and then rolled a 1 to wound it. So the Hell Cannon has just been fantastic this whole game. And we have combat. He beat me by 1 in this combat. My BSB negated it. He beat me by 1 over here with the flank charge. There's 2 zombies left after the spawn just beat them up. He killed 7 Graveguard and wounded my White King BSB and my other White King. And his all he had left was his BSB, and he failed. He ran away and died. So we are off to Vampire Counts turn 4. Alright, we just finished Vampire Counts turn 4. My charges were Graveguard into those warriors, Vargeists into the marauders, and Terrorgeist into the marauders. And these zombies are trying to just run at that chariot as best they can, 3 inches at a time. In the Magic phase, I got a whack ton of dice again. Went to go cast Curse of the Years on those guys, got dispelled. So then I raised a new unit of zombies right in front of them, and cast Invocation of Nehek on my level 4, healing up my guys. My other White King has 1 wound taken off him still. In shooting, the Terrorgeist rolled boxcars, killing 10 marauders. The Terrorgeist has just been money today. And in that combat, he did 1 wound to my Terrorgeist, and he lost, but he was steadfast. But he still rolled his 9, and so his guys broke. I ran him down, and over here, he killed 1 of my guys. I beat him. Oh, I did 1 wound to his chariot. I beat him. He rolled Insane Courage and stuck. Over here, my ghosts cannot hurt a stupid dog to save their lives, so they continue to crumble. And that was my turn 4, so we're off to Warriors of Chaos turn 4. So we just finished Warriors of Chaos turn 4. His charges were warriors into my zombies. The Hell Cannon got angry and ran down the hill and punched my Vargeists. The spawn moved out of the way. That spawn tried to go into my zombies as well, but rolled the grand Snake Eyes to fail. In the Magic phase, nothing happened. I stored my 2 dice. In shooting, there was none because the Hell Cannon came down. The Hell Cannon did 2 wounds with charging down the hill, rear, and a charge, so I lost by 5. So with my BSB, I ended up losing 4, so there's 1 dude left, full wounds. Over here, I won by 1 with my Musician. He stuck around. It was a draw on this side, and he knocked out 10 of my zombies, so I crumbled the last one, and he got a free reform. So we are off to Vampire Counts turn 5. Just finished Vampire Counts turn 5. My charges were zombies into the chariot, Terrorgeist into his spawn, Graveguard into his warriors, and that was it. In the shooting phase, Terrorgeist screamed off the spawn, doing the last 3 wounds. And here, I beat him. He killed 3 skeletons. He won. Oh, I beat him. He stuck around. Over here, I lost 2 Graveguard and chopped his guys up in the challenge. His hero and my unit champion didn't touch each other at all. Over here, he did 0 wounds, but I lost by 2 for being in the rear, and my BSB negated on those wounds. So my dude turned around, and we are off to Warriors of Chaos turn 5. So we just finished Warriors of Chaos turn 5. His character rallied. In the combat phase, my White King with the Great Weapon made way to touch his spawn, had to always strike first. He has the Night Shroud, so I negated that, and the Vampire chopped him up. Over here, the chariot killed 3 guys. I made some other great parry saves on my skeletons. And he broke, so I caught him with my zombies. And over here, he failed to hit with everybody. And I wounded him once, but he made his ward save. So we are off to Vampire Count's turn 6. So we just finished Vampire Count's turn 6. I charged my Graveguard at his Chaos, his Hell Cannon. Vampire Lord got to go first, did all the wounds to kill the cannon. 0 ward saves were made, 0 crewmen were killed. So we are off to Warriors of Chaos turn 6. So we just finished Warriors of Chaos turn 6. His last hurrah, his hero charged in on my Graveguard. He needed a 4 to make it. He just rolled a 4, made it in there. White King walked over to touch him with his Night Shroud. He issued a challenge. Vampire Count accepted. Chopped him up. That's game. Again, my opponent had really bad rolls the entire game. We've been kind of laughing about, well, I've been laughing at his misfortunes of rolling 1s and 2s. But his chariot stuck there for the whole game with rolling those 1s and 2s. So, all in all, it's a fun game. Poor Warriors of Chaos.